Today I am going to show you how to connect the mesh router, the Starlink mini router, to the main router, create a mesh system. So, what do we need to know first? It is compatible with the Gen 2 router and the Gen 3 router. Now the Gen 3 router has a port on the back if you want to hardwire it, which Starlink suggested if you can hardwire it to do so. The Gen 2 does not have that. As you can see, you have to buy an Ethernet adapter for it. So this just gets plugged in place of the cable, and then the cable gets plugged in there, and then you can have your line out. But you don't have to do that. We can link it together using the Wi-Fi. So we're going to show you that right now. And we're not just going to do one, we're going to do two, because why not? Just so you guys know, I'm a professional installer. I've been doing this since the very beginning. This is my main job. The woodworking is a hobby. So I do know what I'm talking about when it comes to this. And after we get it all paired up, we can talk about where to place it in the house. Okay, so we're going to take our first router here, and we're kind of simulating this because the system is actually in the house, and I have this one. We're going to go into the house to where this guy is, and we're going to find the closest plug, and we're just going to plug it in, and we're going to give it a minute to come online. So you have to imagine that this one's actually plugged in and doing something. Now it should pop up, hit pair, and go through all the pop-ups, then wait for a few minutes. Okay, so now we got the first one paired up. Then we're going to just take the second one. We're just going to leave the first one plugged in. And I'm going to plug the second one in. And we're going to do the exact same thing again. And then once they're paired up, then we take them and put them where we want them. So they're both paired up now. So we're just going to unplug them and take them to their final destination. So let's talk about that now. We're going to link anything that's relevant down below in the description. And also we're going to have our referral link to Starlink if you don't have one and you're thinking about getting one. The referral link is going to get you a free month of internet. Let's talk about router placement. So it depends where your system is coming in. Sometimes because of the nature of the building, it has to come in on a far end, which is not ideal for the Wi-Fi signal. So we're going to use the box here as an example of a house. So let's say for whatever reason, the dish has to go over here because you got trees or something like that. And then you got your 50 feet of cable and you're coming in somewhere over here. Maybe you're going down into the utility room or something like that. So that's going to cause it to have a hard time getting way over to the other end of the house. So your main router is going to be sitting here. So the best place for you to put your mini, especially if you have, let's say you have a basement and a 2-story house. You're going to want to put it on the main floor about right there. You don't want to put it way over there because it's going to pick up from here and it's going to push it over there. If you have to get through 2 stories, that's another thing too. Because if you have it on the main floor, then you have a whole story and then another one. It has a hard time sometimes getting all the way through, either up or down. Okay, so why would you need to have 2? In my experience, it's not typically something that is needed to have 2. This is a pretty good router, and this is, of course, going to make it even better. But let's say you have a garage over here. Well, if you put another one there, in a window preferably, it's going to go shoot through the glass and it's going to help that tremendously over there without having to get into anything like power line bridges or wireless bridges or anything like that. So there's your kind of practical applications. If you have any questions about this, just put it in the comment and I'll respond to it. Now, in an instant, like I give you the example here, where now we're trying to reach an outbuilding here or whatever, probably don't need this one now. But you might have an addition out here or something. You guys get the idea. I can tell you I've never put 2 of these in. I have done it in aftermarket routers where I've had up to 3 of them, but I've done almost 1,000 installs and I haven't had too many. Keep in mind, most of my installs are at cottages, but you have to have like a whole other wing on the building or something. This will do pretty much everything you need it to. My router is in the middle of my basement, so I put the routers at each end of my house on the first floor. Then I went upstairs and did a speed test above each of them. You can see that it doubled my speed upstairs above mesh 2. And almost tripled above mesh 1. So in our next video, just to give you a bit of a heads up in case it's relevant to your situation, I am going to be putting this across about 60-foot driveway into my detached garage using a power line bridge. So if that sounds like something that you might be interested in, just make sure you keep an eye out for that one. It's not going to be very long, maybe a couple days. If this is a new video, if it's old video, it's probably back there somewhere. Okay? So, and that one's broken now. So if you haven't already, please like, subscribe. Okay, thanks for watching.